President Abdullah Gül, welcome to Hard Talk.
Thank you very much.
You are here in London to receive a diplomatic prize from the Queen. Congratulations for that.
Thank you, thank you.
But it strikes me as ironic because at this very time, Turkey's relations with some of its strongest, longest Western allies are very poor. Relations are bad. Why is that?
I think relation is not bad. Maybe there are some differences because we are the alliance. This alliance, this word is very important. This explains everything. And we are an alliance since 1952. And we are also negotiating country with the European Union for the full membership. The difference is this. The application of the policy sometimes is different. Otherwise, all the fundamental principles are binding us, and we have the same principles, and we have the same stand.
But if you have the same principles, why is it that on really important challenges facing, for example, NATO today, and one can think of Iran, for example, why is it that Turkey's response is so very different from other member states of NATO?
No. I mean, as far as NATO is concerned, we are very keen there because we are one of the main pillars of the NATO.
Absolutely. But when it comes to Iran, another key pillar of NATO, the United States,
yes,
has pushed for a long time for much more serious sanctions to be imposed upon the Iranian regime. And this summer, Turkey rejected that, voted against it.
Okay. Here, again, let's look at the fundamental side. We are against the weapon of mass destruction.
Do you personally believe that the Iranian government is trying to acquire the nuclear weapon?
I'm not sure about this, really, because first of all, nuclear weapon is not going to help Iran or any other country. Nuclear weapon is a weight, in fact. Since we are not going to use this, you will be the target. And a country with a nuclear power always feel different. And that might encourage the country to be irresponsible or irrational. So therefore, I always suspect about that. And in any case, we are strongly against the weapon of mass destruction in the region. So that's very clear.
Yes, well, I understand that. So here's the question. If you are very strongly against nuclear weapons in the region, why do you not back the UN and the EU sanctions? Because at the moment, Turkey is clearly not supporting those sanctions.
This is a very good question, you see. It needs to be understood very well. I think many people, they don't understand. First of all, Iran is our neighbor. We should not forget this. We are not talking about a country in the Latin America or very far away from us. If something is going to happen there, that will happen in our neighborhood. That means that the war. So we want this problem to be resolved in a peaceful way, in a diplomatic way.
Well, isn't the whole point of sanctions to put peaceful diplomatic pressure on Iran to avoid the need for any sort of military action?
Okay, let me ask you another question. Now, do you believe that the sanction will solve the problem? Can you show me any example in the world that this kind of restrictions, sanctions?
So is that what you said to Stuart Levy, a senior member of the Obama administration who came to Turkey a couple of weeks ago, and he said that he specifically asked the Turkish government for maximum cooperation in the imposition of the sanctions that have now been imposed by the UN Security Council? What did you say to him?
We have been cooperating very well with the United States, very well with the P5s, and we are applying the sanctions put by the UN Security Council.
Well, with respect, Mr. President, I listened to your Prime Minister, but your Prime Minister, Mr. Erdogan, said not so long ago, he said that he wants to see a massive increase in trade between Iran and Turkey? We
Why
know
not?
that in all
Okay,
sorts
why
of
not?
sectors, from energy to banking
Yeah,
to
why not?
insurance, your companies are
Yes.
still seeking business deals in Tehran. At the same time,
What about the British companies? What about the American companies? Now, we have to be very clear here. We have to be fair also. UN sanctions, they are binding us. But unilateral sanctions are not binding us. And Iran is our neighbor. Definitely, we want to see good friend there. Definitely, we want to strengthen our relation with the neighbors.
there is talk of Turkey mediating a meeting in November between the Iranians and the permanent 5 members of the Security Council, plus Germany as well, on this nuclear issue. Do you believe that Turkey can, in a sense, help to deliver a solution here?
Yeah, I believe this. That's why Turkey used its vote in the UN Security Council in order to keep Iran on the table. You know, Tehran agreement that was supported by all the main countries. And now it became the window of opportunity. And the meeting is going to take place in Turkey. When I was in New York, when I met with President Ahmadinejad, he promised me, and now they are fulfilling their promise.
Can the international community trust Ahmadinejad?
I can say, you see, about this.
It's an interesting question, because we've seen the pictures of you going to Tehran and hosting Mr. Ahmadinejad, and always there are big smiles and you slap each other on the back, and it's creating an impression. And it's not just relations with Iran, but it's also your support for Hamas, some of the other stands you take, your friendship with Syria, which makes people wonder whether Turkey has made a decision to become a leading player in the Muslim world by, in a sense, taking sides in a new way.
I think all this, I'm sorry, but all these questions are all confusing everything, you see. Let's talk one by one. Let's take Iran first. Why Turkey is applying this policy? First of all, we want a peaceful solution there. There should not be another war in the region.
Yeah, but the bottom line is, all of your partners, all of your allies, as you call them, in NATO, including the United States, the United Kingdom, where you are right now, have always said, of course, we'll do everything possible to stop Iran acquiring the nuclear weapon short of military action. But in the end, we cannot take military action off the table. You're saying military action has to be off the table.
No. Would you like to go to the war without trying the peaceful solution first?
But they've tried the peaceful solution. They're still trying it now with sanctions.
Go and declare war, another war. The war is not joke, and it's not easy. Look, you have 50,000 people in Afghanistan, and you have some casualties there. What's happening here? If another war takes place in our neighborhood, do you think that will be easy for us? So it's our right and our responsibility to contribute, to help to the peaceful solution. That's what we have been doing, you see. This doesn't mean that we are tolerating nuclear Iran. No, we made it very clear. We don't tolerate the nuclear weapon of mass destruction in our region. And if there's a nuclear power in any neighborhood country in that region, that be a threat to us before you see. So that is a very serious issue. But we have to work hard before going to war and apply all the diplomatic efforts, you see. That's what we have been doing now. And Turkey is a chance, you see, for the alliance. And I'm sure that all the leaders here in America and in other countries, they value this.
And what about Hamas, and what about Turkey's decision? And we won't talk too much about what happened with the flotilla and Israel's use of military force to stop those boats reaching Gaza, but nonetheless it was a big issue for Turkey, and Turkey now says that its relationship with Israel cannot be restored unless Israel provides an official apology, which of course the Israelis have not done. So America wants to know why Turkey is taking this sort of stand?
Well, Turkish people also wants to know why the Gaza is blocked, why the UN, five countries, President Obama, or all the leaders, they are saying that this blockage to Gaza is not good. It's up to Israel. I'm very clear here, because they have to realize that their act was wrong. Killing people in the international water and attacking the humanitarian aid convoy in the international water, this was against the international law. So in the past, the countries, they used to declare war to each other. In the modern age, international law solves the problem. So it's up to them, you see.
You say that all of Turkey's friends in the West and the European Union should be happy to see Turkey playing such a strong role. But they're not happy, are they?
You are right. Some of them are not happy.
Why?
But not the state-wise, you see. There are some, you see.
More than some. Let us look at the reality of the European Union process that Turkey is in. You've been intimately involved with it from 2002. You've pushed harder than any other Turkish politician to speed up the process of membership in the European Union. You must acknowledge with me that that process right now is stalled. It's not working, and I wonder why.
You are right. Because unfortunately, some member countries, they have short-sighted policies.
Which members? Which members?
I don't want to talk about, okay.
Well, let's talk about Germany, for example. You just received Angela Merkel in Turkey, and she says that Turkey can never be a full member of the EU.
They don't have strategic approach. They are not focusing on the future of Europe. 20, 40, 70 years later, what is going to be happen, what we are going to be like. They don't think this. They don't think on this. They are very much busy with the conjunctural domestic issues, you see. So this is the lack of strategic vision, you see. In Europe, there are some movements, political movements. They think that Turkey is going to take their share in the same cake. No, Turkey is going to add big things. Turkey is going to make the cake bigger. Then will take its share.
But how do you overcome this fear? You're talking about fear. You're saying that there are some in Europe who are fearful of Turkey. And I saw in a recent opinion poll, only 16% of people in Germany currently favor the idea of Turkey being a full member of the European Union. So my question is, how do you overcome that fear?
Now, we are negotiating. What we expect that this negotiation process should be completed successfully. There are some countries that are going to have referendum on Turkey. We will very much respect the result that time. So there is no hurry here. And they should not be afraid, you see. That time, when the time comes, they will decide if Turkey is going to be a burden on them. They might say no. We'll be very much happy that time, you see. Maybe Turkish people will not say yes, although we completed the negotiation process successfully, but that's enough. We don't know. Like the Norwegian people, they did, you see. That is the negotiation, you see.
But there is about to be, next month, the latest EU progress report on how Turkey is doing and matching up to the requirements of membership to be a modern, democratic political system. And frankly, the signs are not good. There are particular areas where Turkey appears to be failing badly. One of them is the free press, free expression.
No. These are all wrong. You can express everything in Turkey. You can write everything in Turkey, I like or not, without advocating violence.
Well, you can't, you see. I mean, you tell that to Ismail Seymaz, who writes for Radikal, a newspaper in your country, who faces 9 separate legal cases, a total of potentially 79 years in jail for his writings.
Okay. Now, again, I think there is a need for clarification here. there is no problem for the expression of opinion. One can express and write whatever they think. There is no problem for it. We don't have any difference with any other European country. I think that problem you just mentioned, it's because of the court cases, and they release some secret documents, not because of the expression of opinion.
But Mr. President, this is the point. Your laws at the moment are so carefully written that many forms of journalism that are acceptable in all other parts of democratic Europe are not possible in Turkey.
Now, I will ask you another question. How we start the negotiation with European Union? European Commission declared that Turkey fulfilled the Copenhagen political criteria. That means that the democratic standards sufficiently, should be enough, and the free press, expression of opinion, expression of ideas, they should be free. Otherwise, you cannot start the negotiation. I mean, why I am saying I'm so much insisting here. I don't want Turkey to be seen that one cannot express his opinion, one cannot write whatever he or she wants. No.
Before we end, I want to bring us back to the beginning of this interview and Turkey's relationship with allies. For example, within NATO, the NATO members want to site some of the installations for the new missile shield in Turkey. You have to decide whether you're willing to do that. Are you willing to do that?
Well, nothing's automatic. I mean, we are going to debate, we are going to talk, the negotiation is going on in this between our experts, and we are going to meet in the NATO summit meeting, and I'm sure that at the end we will have a good decision, all of us.
You see, Iran says that that missile shield is deeply suspicious and would be a threat to their national interests. Will that influence you?
No, I mean, in this meeting, there are some issues. One of them is this, and I'm sure that we are going to have some decision there, because
what do you believe? What do you believe Turkey should do? Should Turkey accept the missile shield?
Not only Turkey, you see, there's indispensable defense policy in NATO. So therefore, we are talking all these things that we will take decision all together. I mean, NATO is important for us because we sacrifice a lot there. We have the second largest army in the NATO, and we have been participating in all NATO activities. That's something else. That's not the EU. We are talking about defense. We are talking about military issues. And so Turkey, we take all those things very serious.
And Turkey has contributed to the NATO force in Afghanistan.
We have been contributing there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want you to think about President Obama, because obviously the United States is hugely influential in NATO and in operations like Afghanistan.
Different.
Obama in 2009 in Cairo made a hugely important speech in which he reached out to the Muslim world, and he said he wanted a new beginning. And he said that in terms of conflicts from Mideast and other parts of the Muslim world, America would stick with a patient program of trying to build dialogue and make peace. Are you disappointed with what has happened and what Obama has done since?
No, I think he has a good heart. He has been doing good things with sincerity, but he may not succeed. I think the Muslims values what President Obama said. But it's not only the Muslims, the others also, they have to listen to President Obama. He has to convince the others also in order to reach what he said in the region, for instance, peace in the region, you see. Not on the one side, also the other side also should pay attention what Obama is saying.
And a final question. You here in London are giving a keynote speech when you receive your Chatham House Prize. It's all about Turkey and Europe and looking ahead. to 2025. Will Turkey be in the European Union by 2025?
I'm not sure about that, because at the end, some countries, they will go to referendum. Maybe Turkish people will not wish to join the EU at that time when we finish the negotiation process. Of course, the gravity of the world, economically, politically, it is shifting to other side, you see. So I don't know what people is going, they are going to think that. But there is one thing certain. We will push hard to get the full membership. And we will do what is necessary from our side. We will do our homework, and we will fulfill all the requirements needs to be for the full membership. We will do everything from our side. But from the EU side, I'm not sure. I have to be very honest, because I see some very artificial, unfair obstacles during the negotiation process.
And you smile about the situation, but you're obviously a very frustrated man when it comes to Europe.
Now I'm very clear, you see, here. And Turkey is very clear. It is our strategic issue. It's about the daily politics, and all the political parties, whatever they think on the other issues, they support this endeavor of Turkey. And at the end, it's good for us, and I believe that it's good for Europe also, because strong Turkey, economically and politically, is good for Europe and for all the European people. So I'm optimistic for the future, you see. Even if the chapters are not open officially, we will fulfill all the requirements. So we are very determined on this way.
President Gül, thank you very much for being on HT.
Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity.